Donald Trump's 25% tariff threat raises real concerns about a possible recession moving forward in Canada. Now, is Donald Trump looking to punish Trudeau, Canada, or is he just looking out for the interests of the United States of America? Now we are in a new era in Canadian, U.S., North American politics altogether. Donald Trump, not yet inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States, is already making moves to change the way things have been going in these countries. This is not just the United States of America, but the relations between the US, Canada, and Mexico. Now, he's found his, he's the art of the deal. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. And he's found a tactic that he likes a lot. And he talked about it on Joe Rogan recently.
To me, the most beautiful word, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks, in the dictionary today, is the word tariff. It's more beautiful than love. It's more beautiful than anything. It's the most beautiful word. This country can become rich with the proper use of tariffs.
Well, what are the proper uses of tariffs? Well, let's look into this. Donald Trump just made an announcement. This was on Truth Social, saying, as everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and those things you can't mention on this platform at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico, composed of thousands of people, seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through the currently open border. On January 20th, as one of my first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as those bad things you're not allowed to mention, in particular, the F word version of those bad things, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion into our country. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, this is time for them to pay a very big price. Now, of course, many people are freaking out in the media, not addressing the real issue, but they're actually freaking out, thinking that this is actually going to take place, that these tariffs will be put on. Now, if they were put on, it would absolutely destroy our economy. And well, Pierre Poilievre made an announcement yesterday talking specifically about this.
President Trump yesterday made an unjustified threat of a 25% tariff on our already weak and shrinking economy. Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland were surprised, amazingly. Everyone else knew something like this could be coming because President Trump had been talking about it for years on the campaign trail. Yet 20 days ago, Chrystia Freeland said, "Don't worry, Canada will be fine." Apparently, neither she nor Justin Trudeau were following what the incoming president was saying. And now we must take account and we must be honest with our unprecedented weakness. After 9 years of Prime Minister Trudeau, our GDP is smaller than it was when he took off. Per capita is smaller than it was when he took office. In fact, our per capita GDP has dropped more than any other G7 country since the year before COVID. We have the most indebted households. We've had the worst housing inflation. A quarter of our people are in poverty. 2 million people line up in food banks. Food prices have risen 37% faster in Canada than in the United States of America. Our economy is teetering on the brink of collapse.
This is absolutely true. We cannot handle a 25% tariff on all goods leaving the country, a country where a majority of all of our trade is with. It's unbelievable. They're the world's biggest economy and our largest trading partner, and for all kinds of reasons, one of them being geographic. Holy cow. Now, Justin Trudeau was asked about this, and well, here's his amazing response.
Bonjour tout le monde. I had a good call with Donald Trump last night again. We obviously talked about laying out the facts, talking about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and forth. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. It was a good call. This is something that we can do, laying out the facts, moving forward in constructive ways. This is a relationship that we know takes a certain amount of working on, and that's what we'll do. One of the really important things is that we be all pulling together on this. The Team Canada approach is what works. That's where, putting aside partisanship, that's where I reached out immediately to Doug Ford to agree with him that we would have a First Ministers meeting this week to talk about the United States. Talked with François Legault and some other premiers as well. There's work to do, but we know how to do it.
We talked about this with premiers of provinces. What about the guy who's going to be the next prime minister of Canada? You talk about not being partisan, and then you leave out that guy. That's unbelievable. That's absolutely unbelievable. Now, not addressing the real point of the matter. Now, Pierre Poilievre at the beginning of his statement, he said that this was an unjustified threat. Now, I don't know if it was an unjustified threat, and he does address it later, and we'll get into that. Justin Trudeau not addressing it whatsoever. But here's Wyatt Claypool pointing this one out completely on point here. The left in Canada is running around setting its hair on fire because it's shock, gasp. The USA may put a 25% tariff on us if Canada doesn't cooperate on tightening border security, pretend the thing you can't mention on this platform, and pew-pews are being smuggled over. I'm not seeing what's wrong here. Donald Trump wants to partner with us to reduce crime along the border. This seems to be a common sense thing to agree to. So if we aren't hopelessly contrarian and foolish, we won't have any chance of being hit with a tariff. Why are people freaking out? It's like leftists just saw 25% tariff and immediately start rending their garments and shrieking at the sky without reading what the tariffs would be contingent on us not doing. This is serious, and it's crazy. It's unbelievable. Now, Marty up north pointing this out, and by the way, Marty and I, we do a show every Thursday morning. You guys, and many of you tune into that show. We're going to actually be doing that live tonight. So the usual Thursday morning show will be up tomorrow as usual. But if you want to catch it with a special Q&A session at the end, which will only be, that part of it will only be available tonight, tune in to the live stream that will be occurring tonight and check back on the channel. Make sure the notification bell is rung. That is how you'll be reminded of the live stream going up. So yeah, tune into that. Marty up north saying Canada has become significant producer and exporter of that F word bad thing that you can't mention here. One with more than 350 organized crime groups involved in its illegal production and distribution, according to a confidential federal memo. The bulk of the problem is in BC, where this is an unintended consequence of the NDP's policy. Because David Eby uses words like patients and persons with substance use disorders rather than addicts, he's creating a problem that has now caught the attention of Trump. And of course, Trump wants to stop this because it's a problem that they have. And if it's coming in from Canada, well, obviously, he's going to want to put a stop to that. And like he said, he likes the word tariff because it's a great negotiation tool. And I agree with him. I think it is a great negotiation tool. Now, somebody else who has their head screwed on straight. Here's a BC caucus of here's the Conservative caucus of BC, forgive me. Conservative Party leader John Rustad calls an immediate return to the legislature to address the many issues causing President-elect Trump to threaten a 25% tariff on all Canadians. We cannot afford this tariff from our closest trading partner. We need to be called back immediately to introduce emergency provincial funding to secure our borders and stop the illegal flow of migrants as well as bad stuff and other Bad stuff, all the bad stuff you're not allowed to talk about here. If you don't like me dancing around the language, this is just the way it works on this platform. This is the way you gotta do things. Now, Kevin Vuong saying everyone's been focused on the 25% Trump trade tariff instead of the reason provided. And this is why I'm focusing this video on the reasons provided. If you want to see everyone freaking out, go check out mainstream media. They're not talking about the reason. They're talking about what would happen if this were to take place. Spoiler alert: this won't take place. All we got to do is secure the border. Something that we've been screaming about for months and months and months. To date, the U.S. Border Patrol have stopped 358 suspects on the bad guy watch list from Canada. Why are people on the U.S. bad guy watch list in Canada in the first place? It's absurd that that's the case. Roman Baber taking to X to say, if you watch just one thing today, Pierre Poilievre here. And this is where I say he gets it right. At first he said it was an unjustified threat. I don't think it was unjustified, but this is the next Prime Minister of Canada. This might be a move by Trump to actually push it closer to a current date than waiting till 2025 to see Pierre Poilievre get into office.
And finally, on drugs. I don't want to stop drug overdoses to please Donald Trump. I want to stop drug overdoses so that there's not one more mother with her face buried in a pillow sobbing that she just lost her kid after 47,000 other Canadians have died. That's more than we lost in the Second World War. A 200% annual increase in drug overdose deaths have resulted from Judge Justin Trudeau's radical liberalization of drugs. Justin Trudeau must put partisanship aside, not just for the sake of Team Canada, but for the sake of our people, and fully reverse his liberalization of drugs. Ban them, prosecute those who traffic in them, secure our borders against the illegal importation of fentanyl ingredients, put people in treatment and recovery to bring our loved ones home drug-free. That is necessary now more than ever.
Absolutely necessary more than ever. And this is a great way of making negotiations. This is how we should be talking with Trump, not the piss poor pandering of Justin Trudeau, and it's been recognized around the place. Here's Kevin O'Leary talking specifically about this on U.S. News, Fox Business.
The challenge with the Canadian situation is different than the Mexican. Trudeau is a really unpopular leader, and in the parliamentary system, he'll be getting whacked soon. It's the end game in the parliamentary system is so brutal. Look what happened in England just recently. It's about to happen to him. So that Trump will not be negotiating with Trudeau. He'll be dealing with a guy named Pierre Poilievre who will get majority mandate. I think Trump should invite him down to Mar-a-Lago now. I don't know what the protocol and all that is, but he'll be dealing with Pierre. He might as well.
He was much more ideologically aligned with Trump.
Well, here's what Poilievre has already said. I'm going to lift the ban on pipelines. I'm going to kill the carbon tax to be competitive with Texas. And I'm going to open all kinds of investment in Canada. That's Trump's kind of guy. So I know he talked to Trudeau last night, but Trudeau is checking out of Dodge.
Yeah, he's checking out of Dodge, and it sounds like my kind of guy as well. I'd love to see negotiations start now with Pierre Poilievre, because why even bother with Trudeau? At the end of the day, Trudeau is not going to do what's right. We've seen this with immigration. He'll talk about how immigration is a problem. He won't talk about how he was the problem with immigration. He won't take responsibility for his own actions. I think he's still blaming Stephen Harper for all of his misdoings. So we're looking forward to a new prime minister in Canada. Canadian voters can't wait, but we're all being held hostage here by one man's pension. The name of that man is Jagmeet Singh. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Is there an incoming trade war, or is this a tactic to get Canada to finally do the right thing and secure its border? I'll leave that with you. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.